please announce appearances.
Peter Hagan from the state, Your Honor.
Peter Hagan for Dallas Sawyer, who appears with me.
And how does your client wish to proceed, Mr. Hagan, on this one count of voting under the influence?
Well, Your Honor, this case has been going on for about a year.
Yes.
We still have yet to get the blood results. And we've been asking for those, and you ordered them probably the last 2 times we've been in court. And I still don't have them. My office calls, they said they've provided all the reports. And so here we are. I mean, I should make an oral motion, to dismiss this case based upon the time that this case has been going and the lack of blood results.
Mr. Regier, your response, and I know this probably isn't your case, but you're on the spot with it today.
Yes, Your Honor. This is a case where it is the state's understanding that blood draw reports and KBI lab reports were involved in this matter. I have communicated with my colleagues. It is the state's understanding that counsel for the defense's office communicated with my office back in March, and that at around that same time, both the blood draw results and the KBI lab reports were provided pursuant to standard discovery procedures, and all discovery has been provided in this case.
Well, even if that is the case, why in the world, since March, could you not have given him another set? I mean, that to me just seems like a obvious solution to this. If whether he has them, whether you sent him or not, he's saying, I don't have them, I need them.
I received all the reports, Your Honor, and there weren't any blood tests in what I received. And we've been asking for this, and they said they'd provide them.
Right. And I know people are human, and it may have accidentally been left out and not, someone didn't realize it.
And Your Honor, I did
communicate. There, and Mr. Hagan's staff misplaced it. I don't know, but he needs those reports. He's been asking them since, I don't know, April, June, again on August, now in November. Why can we not just give him another copy, Mr. Regier, if you know the answer to that?
Your Honor, I did communicate with my colleagues regarding that this morning, and it is the state's understanding that an additional and that my office did make those available again this morning. So
all they need to do is send me the lab.
That's all they need to do, and I've told you to do that. I've told your office. And I suspect, Mr. Regier, that you've put notes in your file telling people to do that, and I just don't understand why it's still an issue. Well, Mr. Regier, is this Mr. Sweeney's case? Is it Mr. Canfield's now, or is it yours?
Your Honor, it would appear that unamended information was filed in this case. My name does appear to be on it. If counsel for the defense will communicate with me directly, perhaps that will enable a timely resolution to be reached in this matter.
Okay, so they put you on the case. Had you filed the amended information, or I shouldn't say they had you. You filed the amended information January 30th of 2024. And it does have your name on it. And I understand that in this business, the prosecutor doesn't personally put the paper in an envelope and mail it or fax it or whatever, but unfortunately the attorney is the one where the buck stops. So your staff is telling you they sent it in March. You don't have any indication that they tried to send another one after I ordered them to several times?
One moment, Your Honor. Your Honor, in reviewing my notes, it would appear that I did request my staff to review this back on August 19th, and it was confirmed that the reports were provided. I also have a note in my file which would appear to indicate that the reports were successfully received by counsel for the defense's office on March 12th of this year at approximately 10:26 a.m.
And how do your notes confirm that?
In communications with my staff, Your Honor, as well as a certain ledger concerning the issue of discovery.
All right, but you don't have anything confirming from Mr. Hagan's end that he received those? Just that
Your
they
Honor,
were to
Your
him?
Honor, it would appear that there is a note in my file which would appear to indicate that an email was sent out concerning the issue of discovery to counsel for the defense's office on March 12, and it was confirmed by the individual from counsel for the defense's office that the email was received.
Mr. Hagan, do you have a response to that?
Sure, Your Honor. What I received March 12th were all the reports that I know of from them, and they did not have a blood test with them. Every time we've been back to court, I've said that. And my office called and said, send the reports. They said, we've already sent them all, just like he's telling me again. And so here we are, how many months later, and all I've asked for is the lab results, and I don't have them to this date. And every time we've been to court, that's all we talked about. He said he would send them that day last time. And the time before. So I'm confused.
I am too. I know both attorneys are officers of the court, and you're both very credible, responsible attorneys. And so I'm in a very difficult position, not knowing what to think, because I know that Mr. Regier is very diligent. I know that you are as well, Mr. Hagan. My suspicion, if I had to just come up with without saying someone's just not being truthful, which I don't think that's the situation at all.
No, I don't think that he's anything other than we've asked for him and I haven't got him.
That's the troubling part. And that's saying, well, we sent them back in March is not satisfactory to this court. Every time I tell you to send them, I expect them to be sent, and not this, well, we've already sent them, we're not going to do it again. That is totally unacceptable. This is the defendant's right to this information. It is the defendant's entitlement to see the evidence against him, to question it, to examine it. And he is being denied the right, whether his attorney lost the documents, whether the county attorney's office in good faith thought they included them in that email, but left them out. They've been told multiple times, get them there. So it's been about 210 days-ish, approximately, since first appearance in this case. And counsel, why should I not just dismiss it right now? Because I have told the county attorney's office multiple hearings now over the course of months to send him those blood reports. If he's got them, so be it. Send them again. Do you have a good answer on that, Mr. Regier? And I know you're in a tough spot here, but the buck's—
Your Honor, if that is the court's order, and if the court is prepared to take a brief recess in this matter, I can communicate with my staff regarding this issue immediately.
Would you do that, please? I know
Certainly.
we've got a lot of hearings to cover today, but I know this is a big issue. 0.15 while voting, that's a big issue. So if you would, Mr. Regier, I'll certainly give you time to come up with that.
Thank you, Your Honor. And if the court is prepared to go into a recess, it looks like Mr. Patterson is back on this docket. So I'm not sure what the court wants to do as far as that is concerned.
Well, do we have another prosecutor?
I believe Mr. Canfield is on the Zoom.
Okay, I didn't see Mr. Canfield. Yeah, you take your time to figure that out. So because I want to try to get this figured out today, so we don't just keep coming back for another year.
Very good, Your Honor.
Thank you. All parties appearing as before. I believe I posed at least a rhetorical question to you, Mr. Regier, as to why I shouldn't dismiss this case based on its history and certain facts. And Mr. Regier, have you a response at this time?
Your Honor, again, the state's understanding is that discovery was previously provided in this case. I have had communicated with my office further regarding this matter, and it is the state's understanding that the requested information has been provided to counsel for the defense, and counsel for the defense has confirmed receipt of the same.
Okay, Mr. Hagan, you didn't
Sure.
ask to have it dismissed. You brought up that you could or might or should, but what's your position?
Well, my position, Your Honor, is he tells me that they sent this in April. In June 17th at court, you ordered them to provide me the reports. June 17th of this year. Then we were back on August 19th. I still didn't have it. They said they would provide it. They still haven't provided it. And I don't know how he's trying to stand on what he sent me in April or whatever, because, you know, we've been to court several times. He's been ordered to do it. They said they would do it that day. And now he's trying to say, well, we already sent it, so that doesn't count. Under the statute, Your Honor, he has 180 days, and we're past the 180 days. And I don't see any excuse for him not to have provided it to me by now. So I'm requesting that the case be dismissed, Your Honor.
Mr. Regier, do you have that document in front of you?
I do, Your Honor.
Would it not have just taken a couple of seconds for the county attorney's office to fax or email that again to Mr. Hagan?
Your Honor, unfortunately, I would need the opportunity to discuss that issue with my colleagues further.
I think it's a common sense answer. You know, I could say that, yes, the county attorney sent it in March or April, and that Mr. Hagan just lost it. Worst possible scenario, Mr. Hagan is, you know, I hate to even say or suggest that remote possibility that he's just using that as a stalling technique. But you can't even do that when I keep telling the ordering that the report be sent every 2 months. If you were telling me, yeah, we sent it every 2 months, every time you ordered it, Judge, then Mr. Hagan would kind of start looking suspicious that he either wasn't running a very efficient practice or that he was in the habit of losing things or worser issues. But now this defendant is entitled to a speedy trial. And I don't see that he's been given the speedy trial. And because I have ordered multiple times that that the alcohol and drug evaluation be turned over to the defendant, and it has only been allegedly turned over once back before I ordered it.
And Your Honor,
Mr. Regier?
it is also the state's understanding that the request information has been provided to counsel via email, and I believe Your Honor may have been included on that same email as of this
Saying
morning.
An email of what date?
This morning at approximately 9:37 a.m., Your Honor.
Well, Mr. Hagan, have you seen a 9? Well, that's
Your Honor,
after the hearing started.
I've been on Zoom. I've been on Zoom since 9 o'clock this morning. If
So
he
have
sent
I.
it this morning, I may have well received it, but I haven't looked for that, Your Honor. That seems to be quite late to.
Yeah, I'm not going to take the time to look at that. We've already used far more time on this case than what it should have taken. I'm very, very troubled at the thought of just summarily dismissing this without hearing the evidence. But I also have to recognize the defendant's right to a speedy trial. I'm going to hold this in abeyance before I make a decision on it. I want to do a little bit of pondering and reviewing speedy trial and so forth. Jen, do we have any time on a 1:30 before? Well, Mr. Hagan, are you available on 1:30 Wednesdays?
Which Wednesday?
Well, I don't know which Wednesday. I just want to make sure you didn't have something that kept you tied up every Wednesday.
No, I don't have it every Wednesday afternoon. That's
Jen, let's see if Jen can squeeze this in for
that's
review,
actually
so I
a good
can-
day for me, so.
How soon are you wanting it, Judge?
Oh, what do you have, about 2 weeks maybe? Would that be workable?
I've got a good opening on the 20th of this month.
That's fine.
How about November 20th at 1:30, Mr. Regier?
No objection to that date at this time, Your Honor.
All right, so I will meet with you all again, client, Mr. Sawyer as well, on that date and time, November 20th at 1:30 to render a decision on what to do about this. In the meantime, Mr. Regier, what the heck? I'm going to order it again. Send him the report and see if there's any chance that you could talk your staff into getting it to him.
I will put a note in the file, Your Honor.
All right. And I'm just talking about the alcohol and drug evaluation. That's all. He seems to have everything else. All right.
Very good, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honor.
We'll be in recess.